Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Incompetent Nerds. I am your host, Mark, along with my same friend, Tank.
Sane
We
or
thought
same?
today. I said same. I definitely said same.
Oh, trying to
Um,
make it same. I'm making
I
same.
we are we just figured it out. We are the substitute teachers that never got called because our names were at the bottom of the list because we're not trying to get anybody in trouble. We're just trying to comment on some cool stuff
Oh
that we
yeah.
think is interesting slash exciting and teach you at least one thing.
Oh yeah. So what we have scheduled for today's episode is we're gonna be talking about some Avengers Endgame, how that's dropping in a couple weeks, along with Game of Thrones, my favorite fucking show.
It's coming back.
Yep, we got some news to give you guys a little sneak peek for April, and we got a little surprising end card game. Mark, I know you have a couple things on your end. If you'd like to discuss
Yes.
that
So
now.
yeah. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the new trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I literally just watched it. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Margot Robbie. Uh, and it's Quentin Tarantino's seventh film. I think it's gonna be a smash hit.
Here's the funny
And
part
I think,
about that. I thought his
yeah, go
last
ahead.
film was just gonna be, what was it? The fucking Seven or some shit. The cowboy one.
Oh, the Magnificent Seven.
The,
Yeah, I love westerns, dude. I am a cowboy. Like, they say that as an actor, you haven't made it in Hollywood until you've been in a western. No matter what time period you're in, right? Like, you can play all the characters, you can play the funny guy, you can play the dramatic guy, but you haven't made it in Hollywood until you've done a western.
oh yeah. I thought that was gonna be his last movie because didn't he say he was retiring?
Yeah, there's been like, people go back and forth. It's like, oh, is he gonna come back? Is he not gonna come back? But
Yeah.
if there's one thing I've learned from like being in the biz, it's like your agent is there's meetings that they're doing all the time that you may or may not know about, and people are
Exactly.
pitching. Like when you have a name like that, people pitch themselves to you, not the other way around,
Yeah.
So he definitely will have his chance to just pick whatever he wants to and then go from there, or not if he doesn't want to.
Okay.
But one last cool thing is that Luke Perry, the guy, he recently died of a stroke, actor from 90210, he is going to be in that movie. So
Oh. It's
yeah.
this is weird how when an actor when they pass or even a musician, you just find out like, wait a minute, I haven't seen you act or heard your music in a while, and you're dropping another movie or another album all of a
It's
sudden.
like, it's like there's just so many people and people doing so many things. They probably were acting, but maybe they were doing like not documentaries, but like maybe they were doing
Stage work.
short films or maybe TV, or yeah, maybe we're on stage. Like my buddy was in a play in North Hollywood like a couple weeks ago, and the guy, the shrimp boat captain from Forrest Gump,
Oh yeah,
not Lieutenant Dan, but the big New Orleans guy.
yeah.
When he like goes up to the shrimp boat, he's like, "How much you want for the boat?" Right? That guy was in a play, and I was like, and that I saw like on stage. I got to say hi and shake his hand. And I was like, I didn't even know this guy still acted, but
Yeah.
everybody's got a journey. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
about like
How
you
to
gotta
get
find it or be a fan of it. Support local people
exactly.
instead of big name stuff sometimes.
Well, for me, pretty much excited for Game of Thrones. Let's kick that off real quick. It's the
Yeah,
last
sure.
and final season. I was gonna say season 7, season 8, last
Mhm.
season of the show. I'm be pretty sad when it's done. HBO did confirm that they're having a Game of Thrones spinoff the following year, but I feel like with
Interesting.
they're doing more of a prequel. This is what I hate when
Hmm.
certain things when they come out like, oh, no, we're gonna do a prequel to explain everything else. It's like sometimes they fuck shit up, but I'm super psyched for this. That I had a I had a dream
Of
that
course.
as gamers when we have dreams we tend to control them, and certain dreams that are nightmares for others are not for us.
Yeah,
Uh,
we just gotta get to the next checkpoint.
Pretty much. So hopefully hopefully for those who haven't watched it, and spoiler warning for others, that in the dream I was in Winterfell and I was an archer on top of the wall in Winterfell, and all I saw was just a line of just the army of the undead along with the White Walkers,
Mm-hmm.
and they just started charging towards us, and it was similar to like World War Z zombies
Sure.
and how they were just charging towards people. It was crazy, and here I am just shooting arrows at any one of them I can see, just
Just
going
like,
nuts.
I don't have to reload. They're just like it's an infinite amount of arrows in your dream.
It was funny because I had like a little basket of arrows next to me, so I'm just grabbing them and just launching them and just keep going. I'm going, and they're getting closer. They're climbing the wall, and when they're climbing the wall, it felt like the World War Z part. They're just climbing on top of each other just to get higher up off the wall, and that's when we started getting to like melee combat, and I woke up. My alarm woke me up for work, and I was pissed. I was like, "What the hell?" It was getting so good. But
When that happens, I immediately have to journal or like write it down, or like no technology, no nothing. You just like pick it up, write it down, and it's like, okay, at least I can start where I left off tomorrow night.
Yeah, I wish my dreams continued like a freaking TV show, but they never did. But they never do. But to find out, which was I want to say maybe a couple weeks before, the episode in the battle scene in the last season is supposedly the longest recorded cinematic battle in both TV and movies. It is
Interesting.
It's gonna beat the record from Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, the Battle of Helm's Deep. That was recorded. That was a battle that was recorded for I think 42 minutes. They said this one's gonna be longer.
Well, wait, like 42 minutes in that made it in the movie?
Yeah, 42 minutes of Helm's Deep. And I want to say that could have been just not. I don't think it was a theatrical cut. It could have been the extended or the director's version. But this one, as they were saying, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of stress in the air because this battle's gonna be so long. It's gonna be gruesome. You're gonna see a lot of people. You're gonna see just a lot of
moving parts.
Exactly.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of death and chaos and just stress. Like, he's right there. Hit him.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I feel like there's going to be a lot of stress on the viewers as well. Not just watching this stressful environment going on, but more of the viewers. So I'm very psyched about it. It's only 6 episodes long, but they stated that because whatever money that HBO was giving them, they were spending more of that money in terms of quality and production than for more episodes per that season.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's also good that like the show, everybody knows it's the final season. Like the writers know, they get to tie up loose ends with characters. Like that's something that they don't always get the luxury of.
Oh yeah.
Actors know it's like, okay, these paychecks are gonna stop. And like, what's my next move? Like, the fans obviously are the most important. Like they get to say like, okay, this is the last time I get to see this. So let me make sure I enjoy the moment. Or like, now with streaming, it's like hard, but back then people used to like plan out when they were going to watch a show, right? And like hang out and invite other people over. So, just gives people that one last shot to enjoy the culture before it's gone.
And I'm glad that you said that writers know that this is the last season. They tie up loose ends. Macy Williams, the actress who plays Arya Stark in the show, stated that I guess it was one of her interviews after she was done acting, after filming was done and it went to production and editing, that she said everybody's getting an ending. There's gonna be no loose ends. There's not gonna be Buddy rides off into the sunset, and you don't know what happens afterwards. No, you'll see.
Right, and it's like you don't want that, but it's
you don't.
5% of you does, and then 95% of you doesn't want a cliffhanger either. You want something to happen that you don't have to be happy about, but you just want something to happen,
And I swear to God, if they pull a Sopranos, the infamous Sopranos,
it's HBO, man. It's HBO.
I swear I will lose my damn mind.
You watched it, right? You watched The Sopranos ending, or did you watch it after the fact?
I watched it. I remember watching the ending with my mother, because I was on and off with the show back when I was young.
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
catched it with my
Me
mother,
too.
but
Yeah.
when I saw the last episode with my mom, and when it ended like that, I didn't really understand it because I only caught parts of it and never watched the whole
Right.
series.
You didn't have context.
So my mother's like, okay, 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 credits. Are you fucking kidding me? She lost her shit. So
Yeah.
here I'm like, oh, what did I miss? It just ended. She goes, you don't understand this fucking show. I've been addicted to it, and it just ends like this.
But
So
it's kind of funny, or I don't know. I'm sure your mom doesn't think it's funny, but I believe doesn't matter good or bad ending. If people talk about it, it's a good ending.
oh yeah,
You know, and because it's HBO, right? It's the same production. Like they make shows that not everybody is gonna watch, but the people who do watch them are gonna get really, 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 really invested
oh
because
of
they
course,
know it's a good story, that they care about it, and they care about the characters.
yeah. And I feel like I'm gonna go back and like once this series is done, I'm definitely gonna buy the whole series pack, the whole entire series of Game of Thrones on Blu-ray or whatever, because
Yeah. How
I
often do
want
people do that now?
exactly. And I wait until a series is over till I like buy a whole freaking pack. I'm not the type of person who goes like, "Oh, the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, own it now, Blu-ray and DVD." No, I'm not that type of person. I want to
Yeah.
wait till it's done so I have the whole series in the palm of my hand, and I could go back from watching episode 1 all the way to the last episode and just relive everything. Like, holy shit, I don't remember that part.
Right.
But
And it helps too, like once you know the arc, to like pick up on the different nuances that maybe you didn't know before.
exactly. Oh man, it's just super excited for it. I know you can see it and you can hear it. Which also leads, the release date is April. Crap, I think it's like April 16th.
Something like that. I think so. Oh my god, I just had it. I just had it.
Yeah, same here. Damn it. uh, fuck. Well,
Game
yeah,
of Thrones. We got Google. April 17th. Oh
April.
no, that's when it came out in 2011.
This is gonna be fun now.
April 14th.
April
April
14th,
14th.
season 8.
Sundays. Sundays, guys. We should have known that.
Okay, Sunday, April 14th. And here's the funny part, which leads me to my next topic. April 12th,
Hmm.
Endgame. Avengers Endgame. I am psyched to see this 10-year project that Kevin Feige did with Marvel Studios and how he's going to end it with these characters.
Yeah. Again, another ending.
Another ending, because after this, they're changing the whole aspect of the Marvel Studios and the cinematic universe, and now that the Disney Fox merger is complete. I think it was last night they completed everything.
Oh, really?
Yep, that now the characters, in terms of Marvel characters, not just the Fox movies, but Fox that own any Marvel characters are now back to Disney with Marvel Studio. So now we have the Fantastic Four and all of their characters and villains, and we have X-Men along with all their characters and villains back in Marvel. With
Oh, I didn't even know those were more. I always thought they were DC. I don't have background in comic. That's you. But
Well, back in the day, in the early 2000s, Marvel was basically in the shitter. So they sold off a lot of their comic book
character rights,
the character rights to movie
more or
studios.
less.
So everybody was jumping on them. Fox jumped on
Right.
X-Men.
So Fox got like X-Men and Fantastic Four. Like somebody else got Spider. I think Sony got Spider-Man.
Yep, Sony got Spider-Man. Universal
Okay.
Studios still owns the Hawk, but they have the Hawk, and so forth and so forth. I wonder.
So are those like intellectual property rights, or like how do you have a rights to a character?
I think they purchased the rights to those characters, probably contract deals or whatever. But I think part of the contract was if you keep making movies, you keep the rights. But if you stop making movies at a certain amount of time, you lose those rights. That's
Oh,
why I
interesting.
think Sony made 3 versions of Spider-Man,
A
or the
Spider-Man,
fact
okay.
that Fox kept pushing X-Men movies, and even
Right.
they were coming at the end of their Fantastic because they didn't have another Fantastic Four movie since the first two.
Right.
They came with that third one, which was a reboot, and it flopped horribly.
Yeah, that's kind of
So
hard because it's like you spend all this money like getting a character, and it's like you're making movie one, you make movie two, and it's like they're doing worse and worse, and you're like,
let's take a quick
well,
break.
do we make movie three, or do we like lose all this money we already invested, right? And
Yeah, and then they go on reboot the franchise. They say by making up third movie, and that
right,
one flops even harder. And they just do their best to try to keep the rights because they know
right, that
like
gives
if they
you
one of them is going to be a hit.
right, yeah,
That's what they're hoping for.
or
Like one's going to be a hit.
exactly. Maybe you don't like the story, but you like the actors. Maybe you don't like the actors, but you like the story or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with Endgame it being the final, um, there's still rumors going around saying that Thanos is the villain of the movie or is not the villain of the movie. That is somebody else. But with the Disney Fox merger, what was stated in the contract was they could not announce any characters from those franchises. So they couldn't end Endgame
Endgame.
with a post credit scene or a mid credit scene with, you know, Charles Xavier from the X Men or Wolverine
Right.
or even Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four. It's like,
Right.
okay, but at least with them back, Disney can make a decent Fantastic Four movie or even an X Men movie, uniting them with, you know, the Avengers and all these other characters, established characters that they have.
So you think that's the future,
That's definitely going to be the future.
essentially?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's definitely going to be the future, which is be great because now we can lead up to certain stories. Rumor has it that now that they have the rights again, they're going to be doing an X Men versus Avengers versus X Men,
Mm-hmm.
which
Oh, okay.
was a decent line comic, decent line where you literally had freaking certain Avengers are fighting certain X Men, and it was just crazy outcomes.
Right.
They could do possibly a House of M. They could do this, but the only problem is beating their writers over the head with how do we merge an established world that never saw mutants now have mutants.
I'm sure they'll figure out something.
The only
They're
cop
smart.
out, yeah, the only cop out is just it was it was a merging of universes that happened, and nobody when that happened, everybody lost their thoughts. So you know, mutants were already
It's
established in this
Inception.
universe, and pretty much it's like mutants were established in this universe, but here's the Marvel universe. We put them together and be like, well, this happened, and nobody really can tell the difference.
Right.
All right, it's just gonna be a weird thing to do, but hopefully they do it and they do it right. Which leads me also to
People,
another one. Go ahead.
I mean, people keep paying for it. Like that's what they're gonna do, you know?
Yeah. Which leads to Hugh Jackman, who was known as Wolverine for 10 plus years.
Plus years, yeah.
He stated that because remember he retired his role. He retired
Right.
playing Wolverine in the last movie, Wolverine.
Right.
Oh no, Logan. My bad.
Logan.
But he stated if Marvel was able to gain the rights of X-Men, that they would do what you call it. That he would reprise his role as Wolverine because he
right.
would like to be on the same screen.
Set.
Yeah, the same set with, these other actors. Like who wouldn't want to be on the same set with freaking RDJ and all these other actors.
Mm-hmm.
So, which leads me to my question to you, Mark. You being an actor, how does one like distinguish their acting role to be something else? For example, Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for 10 plus years. Iron Man himself, RDJ, has been Iron Man for 10 plus years. You even had Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow, for 8
Right.
years.
Yeah, that's a long time, man.
And you see these people in the street, you don't call them by their name. You don't be like, oh snap, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. Right. And it's like, oh,
right. That's like, yeah, exactly. That's Iron Man. That's not Robert.
That ain't Robert Downey Jr. That's Iron Man.
Yeah, it's yeah, I get what you're saying. I'll break it up into a couple points. So the first point is like, I think if you look at any actor, no matter how famous or not famous they are, their goal is to act, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to be said about having a job for 8 years that you know is yours, and that you are this character, you embody them, like you do the research, you do the homework, and you come to set every day and do your job. You know, most people do that their whole lives. People have careers that last longer than 8 years, right?
Yeah.
So, in that sense, I don't really think they have anything to complain about. But I think what happens is, people just come to know you as your character, and they blur those lines to where they don't, you're not considered, you anymore. You're
Yeah.
considered your character, and your character wouldn't play this role because they're white, or they're too tall, or whatever, or they have an accent. So like, obviously you have an accent too, right? So they, everybody just makes those natural connections. But I think the goal, in my opinion, in Hollywood is to serve Hollywood until it serves you. So
Yeah.
what I mean by that is, like, I'm trying to solve a problem, and I'm trying to be as open as I can to learning new roles and things and skills. But once I develop myself a role and like a name that people can respect and care about, then I have the money, the potential backing, and the team to say, like, okay, now I want to go do indies, or now I want to do my own script, or maybe I want to do a documentary with Netflix, or maybe I want to do this. Once you sort of establish yourself, you run wherever you want to run. Steve Carell is my go-to example on that. Office, very funny, comedic guy. Like, nobody, aside from Ricky Gervais and the British, like, shot for shot parody, or the similar one, nobody else could play him. And now you see Steve Carell, taking on dramatic roles, like Good Boy with Timothy Chalamet, where they was nominated for a couple awards last year. He did one, I think he was like a boxing trainer.
No, it was a wrestling coach
with Channing Tatum. You wrestling coach, yeah, exactly.
Coach. Yeah, he transformed for that movie, and when I saw him, I was looking at him like, yo, this is not the Steve Carell that I know of.
Right, and it's like, would Steve Carell, would he ever be brought into those rooms, even with The Office? No. But you know what? He has the name and the money and the recognition to say, you know what? I like this story. Let me transform myself to this role.
Yeah.
And more than likely, people say yes.
Okay. No, I see that, and I feel like right now, dude, you'll probably be able to get yourself a Netflix documentary, because I heard they're giving them out to anybody. But overall,
it seems that way.
I see that. But the theme goes in the future. Okay, the newest addition to the Marvel Universe is Brie Larson playing as, Captain Marvel. People could say what they want to say right now, or we're not gonna get into that whole jargon about her and her role. It's just, okay, she plays Captain Marvel for 10 years. And she's known as Captain Marvel. It's like, okay, now she can move on. But hearing her, I feel like she started in indies and in certain shows.
Yeah, she was in like Spectacular Now. She was in The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg. I've been following her as a fan for a really long time. Like, she started from the bottom. Like, Captain Marvel, whatever contract she got, like, that's everything she deserves,
Yeah. My thing is, when she turns to the whole, like, get the tenure of 10 years as playing as Captain Marvel, and, was dealing with this whole cinematic universe, what would be, like, her go-to plan, or what would be her next steps? And I feel like you pretty much said it. Now that she built up, she hit that point, she's making these blockbuster movies, working with Marvel, because I feel like superhero movies are here to stay. Yeah, and I feel like not like here to stay, but they're here for now. They're here for this century. Like, this current era of movies, from 2008 to freaking whatever,
20 maybe 25,
from 2008 to possibly 2028 or 2038.
Mm-hmm.
These are gonna be the hype. These are gonna be the main blockbusters. Okay, Warner Brothers is in hell right now, let's say, and they need to come out with a superhero movie. Well, they got DC. Aquaman fucking kicked ass, and who would have known? Aquaman. I saw the movie, freaking enjoyed it. I loved it.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
where were you? Where was your group of writers and everybody for this? Like, how was this
Right.
different from your previous DC incarnations? Like, what made this one better? Like, why was this one better than the other ones? And I enjoyed Aquaman.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think Brie Larson said yes because she knows exactly what you said. And if you think in terms of like a career or like a lifetime of doing something, like 10 years is not that long.
Yeah.
But it's long enough to where like she can make a big impact and she can put her name and her stamp on this time and this history in movies. And you know, that's what she did. And whether people love it or hate it is not really relevant anymore because it doesn't matter. You know, it's like if they're not going to watch it because of her, like they're probably going to end up watching it for some other reason. You know what I mean?
For example, I haven't watched Captain Marvel yet, and but my thing is, I always want to buy the different phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, phase 1, phase 2, phase whatever, 3, 4, whatever going on. Like that's always been my goal to buy each phase. So even if I don't watch it in theaters, I'm bound to watch it one way or another, be it on Netflix or if I buy a whole pack of here's phase 3, the whole pack from whatever movie to this movie.
Right.
So it's bound, like you said, it's bound to happen. I'm going to watch it, going to check it out, and then give my 2 cents on it. But yeah, all this stuff just going on is, I'm getting. Let's not get political. Let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, anybody can go on forever, right?
Oh, of course, of course.
What is the next topic?
Well, I'll just go ahead and butt in here while you can go ahead and get your next topic ready.
Okay.
I did watch Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, me too.
Oh my god,
dude, it was so good.
I love Queen. Always loved their music, and
yeah,
I didn't know like the life of Freddie Mercury until I looked more into his life. And when I first stumbled upon Queen's music, I was a bit older, and didn't know that freaking Freddie Mercury passed away due to AIDS. So when I looked into his life, I was like, oh snap, damn, sucks. Or for the fact that what was it called? That concert?
Live Aid.
When I found out people called Live Aid the greatest Queen concert that there ever was. Even though they had a plethora of artists there. It's like when Queen went on the stage, they stole the show. It wasn't even a Live Aid concert. It was a Queen concert.
Did you watch it you can watch it on YouTube. Did you see like it like live performance?
No. Yeah, parts of it.
Oh man, it was great. I mean, literally they did in the movie shot for shot almost. Like he did the exact same thing, and I mean, I made a bet with somebody that Rami Malek wasn't gonna win Best Actor because of he was too young. But then after that movie, I was like, wow, I wish I took that bet back. And obviously, I did lose because he did win. But man, I mean, everything all around. Like, and I'm not, I love music, but I listened to it like very passively. I wasn't like a fan of anything until after the fact. But it's like you can't like. That movie had everything from the story to the characters to the
and
the
what's
twist,
crazy was like you had even the actors who literally looked like the artists, if not alike but similar. I was what you call it, when I watched the movie on my flight when I was coming home from DC. And
nice.
They didn't have the screens up. All they had was you connect your device to it, you could watch it. So I connected my device. I'm watching it. I'm freaking enjoying it. Especially that I love the music. So I'm literally watching it and I'm singing along with them. Or the fact like how they were talking about how certain songs came up. I didn't know that the bass, not the bass player, the guitarist was the one who came up with "We Will Rock You." It's talking about like, I want the people to play with us. We want to
interact.
We want them to interact. How many times have we done how many concerts have we done and where they are singing with us, but we want them to at least play with us? How can they do
Mm-hmm.
that? Well,
Right.
clap, stomp. Two
Right.
basic noises that they could come. They literally
Anybody can do.
that anybody could do. They literally came up with the most like. We will use the most basic movement the human being can do, and turn that bitch into a song.
Yep. It was great, right? Oh my god, I keep yawning today. I don't know why.
I'm tired.
No, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. Every penny. Definitely recommend. I'm glad you. Did you see any other movies on the flight?
No,
Any other
I just caught that one, and
Okay.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. And again, coming from me being a fan of Queen, I listen to the music from here on out, and even when I do like karaoke or I'm at like a piano bar, just having a good time. When I get super drunk, I tend to request at least one Queen song,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely not Bohemian Rhapsody because that song is always played out.
Right.
It's
It's also difficult.
damn, I can't even get this damn song.
Radio.
No. Oh, Don't Stop Me Now.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
stop me now. I'm having such a
Mm-hmm.
good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you want to
Right.
have a good time, just give me a call. I got real drunk with my manager from the UK, and she requested
Mm-hmm.
that song. And me and her are literally like word for word are singing the lyrics, and everybody else is just like,
Such an unlikely quality or combination.
yeah, because it's me and her. She was a Queen fan in a young age. You know, she's an older woman, and then I became a Queen fan when I was what you call it, like about 8 years back,
Mm-hmm.
and here we both are just jamming to it. You got two different generations jamming to the same artist.
That's so cool. The one moment. Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning.
You're
The one
ruining this
moment.
episode, Mark.
I know. The one moment that stood out to me was when he told the band that he had it right before while they were practicing towards the end. He was like, "I don't want your sympathy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want you to feel sorry for me or cry or whatever. I want I want to practice and I want to have a good show."
Yeah.
I was like that moment. It was like that's how you knew that guy was a performer.
Yeah.
Like
He was a
he was
showman.
nothing. He was nothing else. And like those kind of gifts are like they're so natural, and it's like you can't teach that or learn
No.
that anywhere. And it was just like all the feels.
Oh yeah. The only thing I felt bad was when he did take up that scene where he did take up the solo, and how he literally gotten his bandmates' faces on the whole life. Basically, he's saying like, "I was the one who started this band. This is my band."
Right.
Like, you would have been a dentist. You would have wrote the
Right.
world's greatest book on whatever that nobody's ever gonna read.
On the physicist paper that nobody would have ever read.
And he's like,
Yeah.
and you, I don't have no idea. Nothing comes to mind. He goes, an electrician or something like that, like
Or electrical engineering.
electrical
Yeah.
engineer. And he goes, and just walks off.
Right.
It's like, how can you be? But Freddie, here you are. Yes, you do have a vocal talent, but your ass didn't even bother to like. You worked at a freaking airport.
Worked at the airport. Yeah.
These guys did it, and did it as a hobby. But then when you came along, yeah, it blew up. Like all you guys started working together, get some shit going, and came out with these. Oh my God, Mike Myers is a cameo. Did you realize that was him?
Yeah.
Dude, when I seen him, I'm like, who the hell is that guy? And then I'm watching him. I was like, no way. I thought what's with him at cameos?
I saw him in the intro credits and I was like, I wonder what he's gonna play. And then the shot at the end with him was so great. Well, Queen was on the radio. Sorry if you're listening and you haven't watched Bohemian Rhapsody, we just spoiled it, but we don't care because it's our podcast.
Yeah. Go listen to another podcast. No, don't. Just stay here. Oh man. Yeah, Mike Myers, that threw me off. I'm like, man, that guy looks very familiar. All that makeup and whatever, freaking everything that he had on. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I couldn't pinpoint, and then, holy crap, it's Mike Myers. I didn't know he was in here.
It's Mike Myers. Mike freaking Myers.
Like his cameo in Glorious Bastards.
Yep.
Oh man.
So next thing I don't mean to transition. This is very different. But so the thing that was on my mind was have you been up to date on the college admission scandal, specifically here in this wonderful state of California?
What's her name? Auntie whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Lori Loughlin from Full House.
Yeah.
Was one of the names on the list. Essentially, parents are making bribes, tax deductible bribes, to colleges, and for guarantees or verbal, like, yeah, you'll be good, admissions to college for their children. And I don't really want to talk about like the logistics or like why people, obviously it's wrong, everybody knows that, but like, why are people so shocked that this that this
I know,
doesn't
right?
happen? It's like these colleges have been around for hundreds of years, and people are just like, I can't believe they would do that. Like, I can't. What? Like, the colleges aren't fair. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm just like baffled.
when I heard the news, I wasn't baffled. I was like, I thought they've been doing this shit for fucking years.
Right, and it's just like you went on with your day because it's like we know that, but then it's like, how are other people more like not shocked,
Exactly.
or more shocked, I should say?
No, yeah. When I heard that, I just freaking laughed. And then when I found out like to certain actors, like certain celebrities, and it wasn't just folks in the
Right.
in the high class or top whatever rich
Right.
folks, start hearing it was celebrities doing this shit. I was like, okay, they got caught. Oh shit, they're going to jail. Damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna get this. Didn't know it was gonna go this big. But okay.
Yeah, but I just like I don't know. It just makes you wonder like what the value of something is,
Yeah. Like, hey, everything has a
yeah.
price. I feel like
It does. Everybody has a price. That's true.
nowadays, like there's no such thing as priceless.
Correct.
Because a lot of folks are struggling. A lot of folks are trying to still make ends meet. There's articles coming left and right out about how much you need to make to live in certain cities or to afford either a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment, or even a home and things like that, or how much debt people are in terms of credit card debt or student loans and all these other things. I feel like that one item you had that's very old and it's priceless and it's a family heirloom is like, you know what? Your ass ain't priceless anymore. We're going to the antique show.
Yep. Like, and that it's also a minimalist lifestyle too. Like, you can't take stuff with you, and it's like you're holding on to stuff for what,
Exactly.
Trying to clean out my garage right now. That's like the problem I'm dealing with.
I'm like, damn, I still have this stuff?
My buddy just moved, and I was like, "Hey, you want a coffee table?" And he's like, "Yeah, how much you want for it?" I was like, "I don't want anything for it. I want you to have it."
Yeah, there's times I've been like that where what was it when I was selling, because I have the PlayStation Pro, I was selling my PS4. Finally had a buyer, and I didn't have nothing to put it in, so I literally had
I'm sorry, you were selling your PS4?
Yeah, not the Pro. I have a Pro, the PlayStation 4 Pro. But what you call it? I had the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I still have my PS4, so I was selling it. I sold it, and it led me to, I had a security book bag. Not security. It sells one of those anti-theft book bags. Put the damn PlayStation in there and be like, here you go. Oh, is there anything extra for the bag? No. Just take the damn bag. Just get rid of it. So I see where you're coming from in terms of like, sometimes you just want to get rid of it, give it away, and that's it. Because I've been there and I've done that. So this leads me to the next topic of our plan for next month. So in April, we're doing something different. We're gonna start interviewing local not celebrities, but more like local artists, be it actual artists of drawing, sculpture, paintings, or music artists, in terms of rappers, singers, songwriters, actors, so forth and so forth. So stay tuned for next month's episodes. We have a few very special guests. And with that, we will be ending today's podcast. Thank you for joining Incompetent Nerds. And if you would like to, follow us, join us, whatever, leave us some comments. All the information is in the description down below. And enjoy the rest of your day. This is from Incompetent Nerds. You guys have a good one. Peace.